Alright guys, so I am getting ready to go back to the Reptilian Nation in Denver. It's the middle of November and I'm going back for day 2 to sell some snakes at the show. And let me tell you, the first day at Reptilian Nation, that was crazy. I couldn't believe all the people and all the vendors and just how busy it was. It was amazing. I would say it's probably as close to the NARBC in Tinley Park that I've ever seen. And Tinley Park was a little bit busier. I was there on a Saturday about noon, 1 o'clock, and at one point I was jammed in the crowd so tight it was like I couldn't move. I couldn't even see the tables for like 5 minutes. It was almost too many people. And this was pretty close. I didn't really see where people really got jammed up in the aisles, but there was a lot of people. As a matter of fact, at one point there was a line of people in front of my display cases looking at my snakes, and behind them there was another line of people looking over their shoulders, and at one point there was a third line looking over their shoulders and kind of from a distance trying to see my snakes, and it was pretty amazing. And I think my favorite part of the whole show was actually meeting you guys, some of you guys coming up to my tables and introducing yourself and talking about some of my videos. And it seemed like most people talked about my 2 craziest videos. One of them was how to make $1 million a year working 1 hour a day. Some people came up to the table and they're still scratching their head. Well, I watched your video, but I'm still confused. How do I do it? And basically, it's putting out videos on YouTube, and YouTube expands exponentially. So you don't start out making $1 million a year, but it has the potential to make $1 million a year working 1 hour a day. And then another video, one of my viewers came up to me and said, yeah, my 6-year-old came up to me and he said, he saw this guy on YouTube and he can live 10,000 years. All he needs is a mouse. So if you haven't seen that video, I thought it was a pretty clever topic that I just kind of threw out there. It was kind of wild. How to live 10,000 years. So I'm getting ready to go to the show, and we'll see how today fares compared to yesterday. Yesterday was pretty crazy, and I'm guessing today will be probably close to as crazy as yesterday. Alright guys, we are back at Reptilian Nation, and I kind of changed up my table a little bit here, and check it out, I put all my sold stuff on the top row, and I think you can't really see the top row, and then I completely filled the bottom 2 rows, which I think gives it a better presentation, especially for the kids that walk up. They really can't see the top row, and I've definitely filled both of the bottom rows. So they're just opening the front door here. People are finally coming in, just a few minutes after 10, and I'm kind of wondering how good of a show it's going to be, since it was a pretty snowy drive and we're in the middle of the storm, so hopefully it'll be a good show. Alright guys, so it's about 1 o'clock, pretty good turnout, but not like yesterday. And I was kind of going around doing a little shopping myself, and I decided to pick up something other than a snake, and I put it in my display case just for kicks, kind of set it for a high price. I don't think anyone's going to buy it, but let me show you what I picked up, actually 2 of them. Check it out. Little albino Pac-Man frogs. Actually got 2 of them. Alright guys, so the table next to me actually wanted to buy a snake, and I decided to trade him for some stuff. Check out this pile of stuff for trading for a snake. It's actually another frog. I'm getting it for my wife. It's a red-eyed tree frog. And we're buying this little enclosure and a reptifogger for someone's Christmas present. Alright guys, the show is over. Alright guys, we are packed up and ready to go. That's kind of what our setup looks like. Bunch of junk in the back, snakes in the front. That's it. Alright guys, so I am back home from the show, and I had a pretty amazing show this time. Actually, yesterday I sold 15 snakes, and today it was a little bit slower, but I still sold 5 for a total of 20 snakes this weekend. It was pretty incredible. And for the total year, I actually sold 45 snakes, which is pretty incredible. And I have about 40 hatchlings left. It looks like Reptilian Nation's coming back to Denver in February. So I'm thinking about doing that show, maybe just holding back my snakes for the spring show. So it was a really good show. Lots of people, good turnout, lots of vendors, and it was a really good time, I thought. And my 2 frogs, I bought 2 Pac-Man frogs. I thought it'd be kind of interesting. I've never actually owned Pac-Man frogs, and I thought about getting into them. And you can set them up right in hatchling rack, and you can use snake tubs. And take a look at what I have going on here. So I've been setting up all my, going through setting up all my hatchlings back in the racks, and I sold so many snakes it'll really thin out my racks. But I have these 2 tubs here that I set up my frogs in, and I'm actually going to upgrade to clear tubs. I can buy clear tubs instead of these gray tubs, and so this is just kind of temporary. And here's my little frogs. These guys are great, and apparently they'll eat anything. You can only have 1 per tub. I mean, they're so aggressive feeders, they'll actually eat each other. They're cannibalistic, so you have to keep them separate. And what I use today is the stuff called plantation soil, and it's actually a coconut husk that's really finely ground. It almost turns to mud. It's so fine. You get that wet, and then I'm using sphagnum moss on top of it. And I know these guys really like to dig, and from what I hear, they grow really fast, and they mature in, I think, about 8 months. And to tell the males and the males croak. So if you hear them croaking, it's a male, and if not, then it's a female. And I'm kind of really looking forward to seeing them grow up, and maybe I might even try breeding them, which would be kind of interesting. Someone actually told me that they could have 900 babies at a time, which is pretty incredible. I don't know what I'm going to do with 900 Pac-Man frogs, but I heard some people can wholesale them for $10 a piece. You think 900 times $10, that's $9,000 for a clutch of Pac-Man frogs? That'd be pretty incredible. So it sounds like it could be pretty profitable breeding these frogs, and I thought I'd just give it a shot. I didn't even know you could wholesale them and how many babies they'd have, but I was just kind of floored when I heard some of the guys talking about it. Some of my viewers, my vendors, my customers, they really, I put them out on display, and a lot of people really chimed in and told me a lot about the Pac-Man frogs, and really struck up some interesting conversations, just kind of putting them in my display rack for the show. I thought that was pretty fun. So thanks for watching, thanks for coming along, and I will definitely see you next time.